Nike has long positioned itself as more than a sportswear company. It markets identity, aspiration, and belonging. As scholars note, Nike's branding strategy increasingly targets women using empowerment narratives to expand its global market. By 2025, women's athletic apparel represented over $26 billion in revenue globally, making female consumers one of Nike's fastest-growing segments. Marketing research also confirms that Nike customizes its women-focused ads based on culture context, a method known as culture segmentation, where a campaign aligns with local norms while pushing aspirational change. This project analyzes Nike's Believe in More campaign, launched in 2017 across Russia, Turkey, and the Middle East. The campaign demonstrates how global brands circulate feminist visual culture across diverse markets by using imagery to local norms. Through localized storytelling in these countries, Nike both reflects existing gender stereotypes and strategically challenges them, empowering its target community of female athletes globally. As Jenkins argues, media circulate within participatory networks where audiences actively reshape meaning rather than passively receive it. Nike's campaign operates within this logic. Its ads do not simply broadcast empowerment, but invite women across cultures to recognize themselves in these stories and contribute their own interpretations. This is similar to what McLuhan proposed, the concept of hot and cold media, where he defines cool media as low definition, requiring active audience participation to complete the message. Nike leans on emotionally open-ended visuals, always showing, not telling, letting viewers project their own interpretations. Furthermore, David describes clothing as a semiotic code whose meaning depends on cultural knowledge. We also see Nike using sportswear as a symbol of modern female identity, tying it to strengths, empowerment, resistance, and freedom. In the ad, What Are Girls Made Of?, the young Russian protagonist begins by saying the traditional line, girls are made of flowers and rings. Flowers and rings symbolizes prettiness and sweetness, embodying stereotypical qualities associated with girls. The soft lighting, pastel colors, and smiling adults visually reinforce conventional femininity. This moment sharply contrasts with later scenes, where the girl begins to sing new lines, made of iron, made of freedom. Visually, the shift is accompanied by images of female athletes removing restrictive clothing to review sportswear, as well as scenes of women boxing, running, and training. These images juxtapose both the auditorium setting and the earlier lyrics, signaling a direct challenge to cultural expectations. The audience members exchange uncertain looks and frown, indicating discomfort toward descriptions that contradict their social norms. The fact that even female audience shows resistance highlights how deeply ingrained these traditional values are, reinforcing how social norms can shape individuals' perception to the point where they resist change even when it restricts their own freedom. Furthermore, in the final shots, the protagonists undergo a visible transformation. Earlier, she stands alone, anxious, with her eyes lowered. Later, she stands with her head held high, now surrounded by a chorus of girls singing beside her. The shift in posture from timid to confident suggests newfound empowerment. The presence of other girls symbolizes the rise of new social norms supported by collective solidarity. The increase in vocal strengths reinforces how emerging values can empower individuals to resist and redefine expectations. The ad closes with Nike's message, "You're made of what you do, and just do it," followed by taglines such as "made of confidence, made of striving, made of self-dedication, made of iron, made of skill, and made of freedom." Nike reframes what women can be, pushing against the stereotypes that women must be delicate. In doing so, it returns the power of self-definition to women, encouraging them to show the world what they are capable of doing. In What Will They Say About You?, stereotypical gender expectations are equally visible. In many Middle Eastern contexts, women are expected to stay at home and dress modestly, covering their hair and body. When two women run and ride a skateboard through the street, they receive judgmental stares from both men and women. These reactions demonstrate how deeply ingrained social expectations limit people's perception of what is acceptable or possible for women. However, the ad does not focus solely on restriction. It foregrounds women breaking through these norms and receiving recognition. Lines such as "They'll say you're strong," that you can't be stopped, and that you be the next big thing, reframe societal judgment into praises. Nike reimagines and re-narrates the narrative for Middle Eastern women, shifting from being judged by traditional values to being recognized for their potential. Through this, Nike both empowers and resonates with their female consumers in the region. Another advertisement, This Is Us, which focuses on Turkey, uses clever editing and unexpected transitions. The opening scene shows a woman sitting modestly for a family photo, accompanied by the narration, "You know us, we have pretty faces." But the visuals immediately juxtapose this stereotype. When she smiles, she reveals a neon green sports mouth guard, and her clothing peels away to reveal a boxing uniform. A woman needs dough, while the narration states, "You know our hands are delicate," before the scene transitions into weightlifting, where the flower becomes lifting chalk. The stereotype wheel of gold, often used to frame women as materialistic, is transformed into something empowering as the scene cuts to a female athlete wearing a gold medal. Through these visual and textual juxtapositions, Nike exposes the restrictive social values placed on women in Turkey and simultaneously celebrates their strength and ability to defy them. The ending scene makes this explicit. The camera lingers on a stereotypically feminine room filled with pink decorations before a runner steps through it, saying, "You know us, don't you?" Her action symbolizes both a physical and ideological rejection of these expectations. The ad ends with a crowd of women running together, again emphasizing the power of collective resistance. Across these ads, Nike highlights restrictive gender norms while emphasizing the collective strength needed to overcome them. By releasing each ad in their local language, with English versions for global circulation, Nike addresses both regional and worldwide audiences. This reflects the reality that gender norms are not confined to specific cultures but represent a shared struggle across cultures, which is one of the reasons why this campaign resonated so widely. According to Nike's marketing analysis in 2006, Nike constructs narratives of global sisterhood and builds community by legitimizing shared struggles and celebrating collective empowerment. The Believe in More campaign extends this strategy by linking women across different traditionalist societies, creating a sense of international community through shared experiences. This transnational connection also links with McLuhan's concept of the global village. Although each advertisement is carefully localized for different cultures, the campaign circulates globally through digital platforms such as YouTube and Instagram. As a result, women far beyond these regions encounter the same messages of empowerment simultaneously. The circulation collapses geographical distance and creates a shared emotional and culture space, precisely what McLuhan describes when he argues that electronic media draws the world into a single, interconnected village. Nike's campaign thus not only challenges gender norms locally, but also participates in shaping a global community of female athletes and supporters. Audience reactions across the 3 countries reveal how Nike's campaign not only circulates feminist messages, but also becomes a platform for publicly negotiating gender norms. Studies show that many young viewers embraced the message of female agency, while others remained ambivalent, framing the ads as a form of Western influence. Online responses reflect this divide. Some reinforce the ad's credibility. For example, a State Duma speaker once said, "Girls are made to serve their husbands." Others praised the ad. "It's pretty hard to make ads that aren't annoying, but Nike managed it." Many viewers shared their lived experience of hearing girls should have long hair, stay in the kitchen, promoting both empathy but also backlash. Some said that they heard similar comments themselves, while others insisted that a woman's place is in the kitchen, revealing ongoing resistance to gender change. Similar patterns appeared under the Middle Eastern ad, with comments such as "Doesn't matter what race, religion, or color, us women are strong." This was empowering and heart-melting, and even makes me want to grab my sneakers and go for a run. These reactions illustrate Jenkins' idea of participatory identity making and his argument that media enable communities to see themselves into existence as viewers use the comment section to articulate personal experiences, debate norms, and find solidarity. Rather than simply advertising shoes, Nike sparks discourse and creates spaces where women articulate empowerment, revealing how global circulation can build transnational communities of resistance. Market research indicates that Nike's localized women campaigns generated strong engagement among female consumers in conservative regions, where women's sports participation is often socially restricted. In Russia and Turkey, positive reception was especially strong among Gen Z women, the demographic most receptive to film advertising and identity-based branding. Nike's strategy succeeds because it aligns with what Rowe describes as community-building marketing. Brands create belonging by validating shared struggles and framing consumers as part of a collective narrative. In Believe in More, Nike constructs emotional and cultural identification by showing women resisting norms in relatable contexts. This approach strengthens brand loyalty while expanding Nike's female market segment in regions where women's sports are rapidly growing but remain socially contested. Nike's Believe in More campaign functions not merely as advertising, but a strategic circulation of female visual culture adapted for diverse global audiences. By utilizing narratives to the specific social norms of Russia, Turkey, and the Middle East, Nike simultaneously reflects local gender expectation and breaks them. Through visual and textual elements, Nike redefines what female identity can look like, and the campaign also invites participatory interpretation, creating online spaces where women collectively narrate empowerment. Ultimately, Nike's campaign contributes to a global conversation about gender, demonstrating how commercial media can both mirror cultural tensions and also can help to shape new possibilities for women across borders.
Girls, girls.